Okay, I'm back. Let's get a screen up. All right. Sorry about that, guys. That was annoying. It does that sometimes. YouTube likes to, as soon as my internet cuts out just a little bit, the connection gets a little bit unstable, it instantly decides to basically just kick me off. And then it doesn't reconnect, you know what I mean? But all right. Yeah, I think that buy is well and truly gone. I think that's maybe it was insider trading, maybe not. I don't know. I thought it could be. I took a bet, didn't work out. But we can now start looking at trades. Some good old trades. So let's go back to normal order flow trading, not trying to catch insider trading. About to have a 5-minute closure under 15-minute opening range breakout as well, if that matters. I mean, all of it matters, I think. We just took out that low. We've got a big spike in volume that's definitely take profits happening here. So we know some sellers are taking profit. We've got some fresh sellers coming in. Looking good. And I mean, this is just selling off like crazy. There's not really any opportunity yet to jump in. All right, so these are buyers. Let's see how these buyers react. Do they get trapped? Do they fail? That's the big question, right? So we definitely had some profit taking happening from the sell side. We've got some buyers trying to come back in. Shiv says, can I use Tradingview premium version for footprint and profile charts or futures like Euro, even though the order flow chart and premium version is not tick based but lower time frame based estimation? Yes, you can absolutely use it. Absolutely, you can. So for the Euro, it will be like 6E. I'll show you real quick. So this is the Euro futures, and this is obviously real volume data. It's not tick data. So yeah, you can absolutely use it in conjunction if you're trading like Euro US dollar, essentially. You can use that in conjunction, 100%. Go back to ES. Are you using premium or ultimate? I'm using premium. The ultimate, I don't think you need that one. It's like I pay like $100 a month, whichever one that is. But basically, yeah, it comes with the footprint. You get all that with the premium. So we're seeing some sellers failed potentially to push it down. So these are fresh sellers, right? These people here. Some fresh buyers. Let's see if those buyers can get above and potentially squeeze out some of these sellers. Unlikely, because there's a lot of, this is one hell of a sell-off, but potential. Anything is possible. It doesn't look terrible, actually. That's a lot of buy volume coming in. All right, let's go in. Let's see if the buyers can squeeze out these sellers. If not, we'll put a stop there. We'll see if the buyers can work a bit of magic, But you've got to be super careful because of how. All right, so there's a bit of fresh buying coming in. Where are the sellers' stop losses going to be? Well, a lot of people are trailing. Fresh sellers coming in already, so I'm already looking to potentially get out if we don't get above those sellers quickly. So I'm in my cash, so first I'll get out of my cash. 400. I'm just seeing if the buyers are reloading. They are. Let's see if they can pop above where they look at that big big amount of sell volume coming in again. We need to be able to clear that sell volume, otherwise I'm getting out. All right, cleared one level. Let's see if we can clear the 170. They're still coming in, but buyers are fighting it and reloading. So they're trying to squeeze the sellers out. Big amount. Oh, that's good. Trap those sellers at the bottom. Let's see if buyers can keep reloading. More sellers coming in. If we can break past them, that would be very, very good for us. 109. Come on, keep reloading. That's it. 320. Definitely some sellers getting stopped out there. That's what we want to see, essentially. Very, very good. More stops getting hit as this moves up. That's quite nice. That's a nice little extension there, but let's keep that momentum going. I'm still in my cash. That 800 is definitely, it's kind of hard now to read what is fresh buy volume, what is not, because you have to kind of remember what the original number was. And then as the number changes, you know, that's fresh. So that was 800, went up to 1,000. So, you know, there's 200 extra buyers that came in fresh, maybe another 300. Let's see if the buyers can keep adding and adding and adding. We'll keep holding it until they start deciding it's not worth it, or until sellers start coming in heavy again. All right, we've got a bit of sell pressure coming in. Let's see if we can get above those sellers very quickly. Good, just like that. That's what we want to see. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's keep that momentum riding. Yes. All right, I've made back my money from that loss earlier on my cash account. I am now fully in profit. Beautiful. Keep going, keep going. 600, that's a lot of stops obviously getting hit. A lot of sellers getting squeezed out. That is what we want to see. We're approaching that little area of consolidation we had earlier. So that area is going to be interesting. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Well done. Oh, that was a big, but look at that. Huge amount of sellers at the top on that area, as I thought that would be interesting. But let's see if the buyers can keep it up. If sellers come in too heavy, we'll take our money. Still in my cash. I might look at getting out here. I'm going to give the sellers, the buyers another couple of seconds just to see if they can find a bit more volume to push into this market. If not, let's see if we can get above that 300, 250, good. Bang, 300 on the buy side. Come on, oh, no, back down. Come on, buyers. You're almost there. 200, let's keep going. Keep going, just one little push up. Let's get to that high at least. Let's get to that high. That's what we want to see. 95 on the sell side. Come on, buyers. I want to see you keep adding volume. 27. Starting to look a bit weak, but sellers aren't that aggressive. We haven't seen massive amount of sell volume yet, but it's starting to look a bit shit, that the fact that there isn't massive amount and buyers are struggling. Buyers, if they fail here, I'm getting out. Yeah, okay. I'm taking my money. I'm out. And I'll get out here as well. All right, so they start failing around there. You know, there's just a little bit too much sellers coming in. They could get squeezed out again, and we could jump back in. Trump, war won't last much longer. Is that what it said? Where is this? So maybe this, but it isn't as big as, yeah. I like how we're above those sellers, though, actually. If those sellers, if we see some buy pressure come in again, I might jump back in. $69, we've absorbed quite a bit. Not bad at all, to be honest. Not bad at all. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. I'm in on my cash. I've got in again. Got All right, I'm in my cash account. I'm not in the Ola Prime account. Fuck it. Let's jump in the Ola Prime account as well. Let's see how far this can go. Stops really got to be kind of maybe around here somewhere. But I want to see more buyers. If I don't see those buyers extend, I will get out. 89, 11. See, buyers are getting just a little bit weak. 107 on the sell side, 193. I don't like that. We need to get above that quickly. Let's not lose momentum. That's it. Get above it. Perfect. 140, 145, 87, 170. Buyers are starting to buy a bit higher up, which is good. But let's see if we can really, put in a bit more pressure. Get it popping. 260, 300. That's it. Buyers are coming in. Good boy. Good. 200. There we go. There's a bit of a pop. All right, we're approaching that high now on that little bit of consolidation. 299. Let's see. That's some stops and take profits probably. Getting triggered. That 500. That's not real volume. That's just stops and take profits. Buyers are still adding. Beautiful. Keep going. Oh, yes. I'm glad I got in. Oh, beautiful. There we go. I'm just managing my cash account first before I manage the Ola Prime. A little bit of the worry part. When you get these pops, a lot of people like to get out the market quickly, take the money. So you might get a bit of a pullback. If I see that happening, I too will get out, essentially. Oh, nice. Keep going. Come on. Give me a little bit more. Oh, there's a bit of sell pressure coming in. Can the buyers push it one little bit? All right, I'm out of my cash. I'm going to hold the Ola Prime just a little bit. Well, that's a lot of sell pressure. I'm going to get out Ola Prime as well. Good. Yeah, I think from now on, I'm not going to try and jump on insider trading and all this. It's just, I've tried it twice now. Didn't work out on either time. If I see something I don't like, I think scalping is still the best way for me. I'm not good at holding trades. I'm not good at any of that. Just use the momentum. It just isn't me, basically, But if I see a suspicious order or something like that, and I think it might be insider trading, all right, maybe I'll hold off trading against them. But ultimately, trying to just jump in on someone's trade and hope for the best is like, it might work out. And the one time it does work out, I'm sure it'll be a great payday, but it's too much stress for me trying to hold through all that shit. I'd much rather just these little scalps, get that little, push, get out, make your money, and wait for the next rotation, essentially. That's just the best way, in my opinion, for my personality. So we got some highs here that we have yet to take out. This black line, I can pretty much get rid of it. So there's going to be stops below there. Let's see. So we got potentially a lot of buyers getting out the market here. A few buyers trapped at the bottom there. Buyers are slowly coming back in again, but it's not a lot. It's not a huge amount of pressure yet. I think sellers might take over again because we're starting to get a bit more sell pressure. So all right, I've gone in short on my cash account again. So I'm short now. But I've got my finger on the exit just in case. If these sellers fail here, I'm out. It looks like they might be failing. Not yet. Come on. Don't want to go above basically this candle. I don't want to undo this candle. Just looking for a little bit of an extension down. Fuck it, I'll go in on Ola Prime as well. But essentially, I don't want to go much higher than here. I've got a worse price on Ola Prime account, but I'm seeing, something potentially happening. But really, I don't want it to go much higher than like here. Otherwise, I'm wrong on this trade. And it's fine. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I can have a super tight stop. Come on, 130. Let's see if the sellers can just take over a little bit here. Give us a little bit of a pullback. That's all I want. Just want to make money on a pullback. All right, I'm in profit on my cash. Come on. That's a lot of sell volume, and we're not pushing down. I need to see some effectiveness. I need to see some movement in the next few seconds. Otherwise, there it is. Otherwise, I'm getting the hell out. Come on, give me a little bit more than that. I'm only up $100. Come on. Nah, back to break even. Nah, I'm getting out. I'm out. Taking the money on my cash. Basically took a small loss on my cash share. All right, that's already stopped out. Just about failed here. It looked like they wanted to, but they couldn't just make that movement happen. Just struggled ever so slightly. The sellers there. They were putting in a lot of volume, but they just weren't. The movement wasn't there, So what can you do? You use footprint in Tradingview. Why not use real data? Jason, it is real data. This is from the CME. A lot of people have this misconception that for some reason on Tradingview, the data is not real. It depends what instrument you're actually trading. If you're trading the futures and it's from the CME and you got the CME data subscription, it's absolutely real data. Now, if you're trading S&P500 CFD, then yeah, it's tick data. But you gotta use the correct, the actual correct instrument, have the right subscription. Absolutely, it's real data. So there's a big misconception. I don't know where that comes from, why people think Tradingview doesn't have real data or what the deal is. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe someone made a video once and they were ill-informed. But I can assure you the data is definitely real. It comes straight from the exchange, from the CME exchange. Yeah, it's real data. As long as you got the subscription, that's all that matters. Okay, let's... So we've got a big amount of buyers coming in. I did flip on my cash account for a buy. When I got out of the other one, I flipped. So I am in a long on my cash. I got in at 6476. So right here, I'm just kind of holding it, but I'm looking at potentially getting out because again, buyers are failing at the top here. $200, no, they're coming in a bit. 215, 199, 169. They're still sellers. They're reloaded back to 250. That's good. Sellers coming in just a little bit at the top there, but I feel like the buyers can pop through. There it is. Boom, I'm out. I'm just taking that little reaction. Good, I'm out. There's a bunch of stop losses getting hit, potentially take profits, right? That big spike in volume, that is definitely sellers, who put their stops above here, getting triggered out. Nice. I like that. It's mentioned in their plans that tick level data is an ultimate plan only. Right, tick level data, yes, you're correct. You do get a little bit of a lag here, but ultimately you can still kind of trade it. Do you know what I mean? but it would be better if you had like tick level data, absolutely. But it's still, you know, it's very tradable still. As you can see, I mean, you probably get a bit of a lag, but it's not, it doesn't make that much of a difference, you know. But when I say tick data, I meant tick volume data. A lot of people think TradingView is only showing tick volume, which is not true. Like, for example, I could show you tick volume. So if I go to just all and do S&P 500, S and P 500, and go to any kind of like CFD kind of broker. So we do it from here. You can still use the footprint, but this is tick volume now. So if I go to auto, that's tick volume, not real volume, just tick volume, right? So it only measures, you know, every uptick, every downtick, and uptick is one contract, downtick is, and if I draw a line here, you can see this is where the volume spiked, right? On the CME, on the futures, because that's where all the stops were. Here we didn't get that, right? And if we go to the futures, ES, same area, you can see it's completely different, the volume. That's where the volume spiked, because that's where it is. So it's legit, real, you know, volume from the CME exchange. All right, nice. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. Thank you. Got a lot of questions here. What is your preferred way of scalping? So Shiv, exactly what you just saw there, kind of, I'm looking for, you know, who's fresh in the market, who's exiting. These people, that's exiting. These are all fresh buyers, potentially some stops here as well, because not everyone's going to have their stop perfectly at the high. So I'm kind of ignoring this volume. These are real buyers, right? These are real buyers coming in. So I'm looking at these buyers potentially failing. If I want to go short, I want to see these people fail, some real sell volume come in below them and potentially squeeze them out. Then I'll go in short. So I'm seeing some decent sell volume come in, but they're just not pushing it down at the moment. But I might go in short quickly now for a scalp, see if we can get back down. And essentially, if we go much higher than like here, whoops, that was a bit of a jolty. But if we go much higher than here, I kind of want to get out the market. So I'm front running it a bit in hopes that sellers will keep adding and squeeze these buyers out. Any of these buyers that came in here, if we can get rid of them, but look, buyers are willing to come back in, so it's not ready. So definitely get out. Do you know what I mean? But these are our fresh buyers again. We're going to have stops at the top here. So as soon as we take that out, but really you want to kind of wait until you actually see those buyers leave the market, right? That's when the move is really kind of ready. When you see them leave the market, and you kind of have to figure out where are they most likely going to exit, you know? So that's kind of like the way I do it. For me, in this first buy trade that you take, VWAP level plus 6450 volume profile level equals best buy level. Very nice, very nice. Roman, is it Roman? Oh no, Romna, sorry. I keep always saying Roman to you. I haven't seen you in a while, Romna. Sammy, how's it going? Good, good. How are you? You stopped trading NQ. Not really. It's more just I haven't got it activated on Ola Prime Markets right now. So for my account, so I physically can't actually. I can click the buttons, but it doesn't do anything. So I'm only trading the S&P on Ola Prime Markets, but I do still trade the NQ occasionally. Oh, so here could be a move, right? You see how those buyers all here that came in, they might get squeezed out. So again, you would be front running it if you decide to enter here. but you're looking for them to potentially exit. I will front run just as an example, but I wouldn't be that confident in it just yet until we really get below kind of these lows here and we see a big chunk in volume come in. Then I'll be a bit more comfortable. But with trades like that, you can have a very tight stop. You can have a stop then just above the high, and you're hoping that momentum carries on. So there's some of them got stopped out. Now you want to see fresh sellers come in, right? Real fresh sellers. So it went up to 300, back down to 2. Do you see what I mean? And now you want to see that momentum keep continuing. If you keep seeing buyers come in, you want to be very kind of cautious at potentially getting out. And we're seeing buyers come in because the numbers are going to the other side, but you want to see how effective they are. If sellers can keep coming in as well and keep that momentum, we got something, right? 295. I'm just tracking the numbers. 300, 400. Good. That's good. I like that. 500. So that's a big amount of sellers willing to transact there. So let's see how effective they are. They need to move quickly in order to keep this market down. 650. Nice. 722. 666, that's not a good number. 593. So buyers are still buying into it, but it's not terrible. 82 on the buy side. Want to get below that quickly. They're starting to, the sell numbers are starting to kind of dissipate here. So probably want to get out. Buyers are coming in a bit too much. But essentially you're trying to get that ball rolling and keep trading it like that. That's essentially all I do. Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. Those buyers kind of failed at the top there. Sellers came back in. Could have held that, to be fair. I was maybe a little bit too hasty at getting out there. But I didn't see the sell numbers really. They took a few seconds to come in, annoyingly. Buyers are still coming in. You just saw that 200 drop and went back to plus 30, whatever. But then sellers are reloading, so it's okay. It's a bit of a battle here, but it looks like sellers might take it, to be fair. Where are we? So I'm done with my cash account today. I don't want to trade anymore. I'm locking that in. So I can put that away. Nice. Again, those buyers coming in. We're just trying to figure out where everyone's stop losses, where their take profits are, where it makes sense, right? So we're just always drawing out the highs and lows, essentially, because we don't really have any gaps lately. This has been kind of very gapless. We've got a little gap there, but nothing spectacular. So we're kind of in a really shit area in terms of the volume profile. So I'm not really focusing on the volume profile now. I'm only looking at so look at that. Big amount of sellers came in. They're potentially vulnerable now, these guys here. So if buyers get above them and you see them dropping out, all right, then we go long, So this might be potentially a long here. You could front run it and go long and see if buyers are going to squeeze out those sellers. But essentially your stop then can be, just a bit below here somewhere. But this is a bit of a front run trade. I'm just going to check the numbers. 169. You see how it's dropped? Not a good sign. So if buyers don't push it up very quickly, I'm out. I don't want to be now. See, sellers are coming back in 45, 20, 150. That's not good. So if buyers don't get above those sellers quickly, the snowball effect kicks in and then you're basically fucked. So buyers have to get above sell pressure very quickly. We just about managed to scrape through, but they're not out of the danger zone yet. 120, 140. So they're getting a bit better now. 200. Good. But they need to keep adding, these buyers. They need to keep adding. 100. 300. Good. So that's definitely some of these sellers potentially getting out at break even or getting stopped, but we're not out the danger yet. We need to see buyers keep adding. 260. Go on. 270, back to 230, 300, good, 340, they're adding, 350, they're getting absorbed. Come on, buyers. One more pop, and you got this. Squeeze them out. Squeeze them out. 499, 500. There's definitely an iceberg sitting here because it's passively being absorbed right now. It's passively sellers coming back in. They need to get above quickly. There it is. Come on, get above. 169, get above. You need to get above, buyers, or I'm getting out. There's definitely an iceberg sitting there. Break through it. Just about broke. They're still struggling a little bit. 140, 159. They're struggling. Oh, there's a big chunk of sellers. Get above the sellers. No. Might get out here. This might be all it will give us. I'll give it another few seconds just to see if the buyers are willing to break through that. Nah, they're struggling just a little bit. Unfortunately, it's a fail. Break-even trade. Just couldn't get above. The sellers were just a bit too happy to transact. It's not ready. It might just rotate a little bit, go sideways, whatever. But you're looking at those kind of, you know, the balances, not the balances, sorry. What am I talking about? You're looking at those kind of, what's the word? My mind's gone blank. Because everything is like a domino effect in the market, right? It's always a domino effect. The only reason it dropped down here is because we saw the failure happen, right? Buyers, we saw the first red flag right here when we were in that position. And the red flag was there was an iceberg sitting right here. And buyers were putting in the volume, but we weren't going up. So that's red flag number one, right? Maybe it might not work out. Man, look at that sell-off. Now, if buyers were able to break through quite well here and sellers weren't happy to transact and break through those sellers and get rid of them, basically wipe them out, we could have gone up a bit more. We could have kept going up until sellers, you know, naturally come back in again, and the same pattern occurs, right? Sellers will come in, but if buyers are able to wipe them out quickly and push up above them, those sellers are out the market. Sellers are out the market. Sellers are out the market, and that will keep the market from going up, 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 and up. But we had that failure, right? Sellers came in and buyers just weren't able to get above them. They tried one little bit again. I think this went up to like 100 or so, but it just wasn't happening. Get out. Do you know what I mean? The domino effect, kind of like the link in the chain kind of broke. Does that make sense? And then, well, obviously this, very hard to predict because this is just aggressive volume. It can come in at any point. And, you know, then you just wait for the next cycle, essentially. The next thing to happen, next cycle. All right. Have a great day, Sammy. I'm heading out. Holy Earth, have a great one. Thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow. Had 2 bad trades and 1 good one. That good one made up for the 2 bad ones. Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, it looks like I made good money. Missed my short TP by a little. Black and white, you're back. Bro sounds like he's gambling. Emotional trader. Not emotion, it's passion. Black and white, it's passion. Believe me, if you saw me emotional, you would know when I'm emotional. I'm verbally speaking what I'm seeing in real time. Do you know what I mean? Because I could sit here silently, but everyone in the chat always says they like it when I talk what I'm seeing. It helps them understand, you know, what I'm actually, what's going through my mind and what I'm looking for. If you want me to sit here silently and do nothing, I can do that, but it's going to be a bit of a boring stream. So we had this discussion a few days ago, I think. Everyone was saying, you know, keep talking, it's good. $491. Oh, nice. That is definitely fresh sellers. So who's vulnerable in the market? These guys right here. These guys are very vulnerable because if they fail, they've put a lot of volume. We know they're fresh sellers. If they fail here and can't get the market down, and we go above them, I could definitely go in for a long, because there's a good chance they'll get squeezed out. So this is the area of interest right now. But it looks like they're not failing. It looks like they might actually work it here. But we don't know, because we had buyers come in at the bottom here. They might be willing to come back in and give it another shot, right? So this is all this volume here is vulnerable. This is all fresh sellers. These people are vulnerable. Same with these people. If buyers take advantage of them, get above them, we can go long. But it looks like that volume there is stops, right? Because we just took out that little low. Anyone who did buy here, this candle, that's them getting stopped out. Nothing of interest. Fresh buyers, I didn't quite see what happened there, to be honest. Just keeping my eye on it, because I really kind of want these sellers to fail, because that would be a nice move, because there's a lot of volume. But it looks like the sellers might just plow through here. They keep adding and adding and adding. I think the sellers got it. But we're really close to that low there. Oh, fresh buyers came back in. I think these buyers want to squeeze them out, but I'm not ready to jump in. That would be too much front running. If I jump in here, sure, my stop can be literally here. But considering the volume that the sellers put in, yeah, see, I would have got stopped out instantly. So, nah, the sellers won. Just about won, I think. But it was touch and go there. It could have been a very interesting move. So in an alternate reality, what could have happened is, we know these are fresh sellers, right? These are real people putting real volume in the market to get it down. Their objective is they want the market to go down. They're not people, exiting, nothing like that. If it failed, if we got above them and they all, were forced to be squeezed out, we could have had a really nice move up, because it's a lot of volume as well. It wasn't even just a trickle of volume. That was a decent amount of volume. How about shorting now? Still a bit dangerous, because we're looking at, like, we've already had the extension, right? So you could short if you see buyers fail. So you see these buyers who failed, we could have a stop here and short, to be fair, actually. Because we have seen buyers fail, but buyers are still willing to keep buying. But sellers are also selling. All right, let's short, because our stop realistically can be up here, right? We can short it. You're absolutely right. We could short it, because sellers are coming in. We have a place where we know if we're wrong, it will be up here. So our stop is pretty decent. And now we can just kind of hope that buyers don't keep coming in. And like this area here is very interesting, right? Because we need these buyers to fail, but look at them. If sellers cannot get below these buyers quickly, I'd rather get out the market. So I already got my finger on the exit. Sellers need to get below them, just like that. Good. And now sellers got to be willing to also short at the bottom, because if sellers are not willing to short here, we're not going to keep going down, right? And it gives an opportunity for buyers to keep buying. So it's also about the distribution of volume, right? Because there will be, the further down we go, the less likely you're going to get sellers willing to keep shorting, because they'll feel like, it's already moved a bit, right? Sellers are always going to wait, and same with buyers. They're always going to wait for some kind of pullback, something of that nature, to kind of, give you a good price. And this is why buyers are willing to keep coming in. Sellers just weren't willing to short at the bottom anymore. They kind of just gave up. So unfortunately, looks like buyers might take control just here and take us out. That's why it's a little bit dangerous to short when the move has already happened, or buy when the move has already happened, because you're now relying on, like, we were fully relying on sellers coming in here in order for the move to happen. But now look, we're seeing sellers come in a bit higher up. Good. But we also already had a bunch of buyers come in and take advantage. So now it looks like those sellers are trapped and buyers are now going to try squeeze out the original people. So look at this. Look at this. That was 400 just a second ago, right? These guys are about to get squeezed out. They still squeezed them out. Motherfucker, I missed it. Fuck, happened too quick. I wanted to say, all right, that happened too quick. But I wanted to say that was 400 here, right? That was these guys who shorted, not defending anymore. So the volume that came in here, they didn't defend, they exit. They decided to get out. Rather than add more volume, they decided to get out. That is a good opportunity to go long because they're more like they've already been squeezed out. Does that make sense? They decided, so these sellers here decided to exit here. And that would have been a good opportunity to go in long. But yeah, it already happened. It happened so quick. I didn't get a chance to actually jump in. But your entry, basically, the moment you saw that could have been like at this candle. And now the same thing happens, right? You're looking now for these sellers to keep failing. You want buyers to come in strong, push up above. If they fail, then all right, fine. So buyers are willing. We want to get above. Those buyers need to get above those sellers. They have to get above. Because if they don't, it just encourages more people to short. Do you know what I mean? But it's good that buyers are willing to buy here, right? You're not seeing buyers are willing to keep buying and they've got above. Beautiful. But we also need buyers willing to buy at the top here. If buyers decide, well, up here is not a good price, I don't want to buy anymore, it's just going to stop, and then sellers have an opportunity to short and bring it back down. So you want to see, like, yes, buyers are still willing to add volume. So it's a good sign, but sellers are coming in. As long as buyers keep adding, we'll keep going up, essentially. So again, sellers have come in, but you want to get above those sellers. You need to get above quickly. Can't waste too much time being around or below because the speed matters in trading as well, right? So it's good that we got above them, but we need to get above quickly and add volume above them. But look at that. Sellers have come back in. We need to get above that. Otherwise, this is get out if you were in a long. So you really don't want to go much lower than, like, you know, these buyers here, right? You want to kind of stay above there. So you can give them a few more seconds, see if buyers are willing to, you know, jump in. Yeah, there's buyers coming in. So it's looking a bit better. But they do get absorbed near the highs. Give it a few more seconds. Buyers are coming in. Good. Let's see if they can really, you know, squeeze out these guys. We want to hit their stops. The people who sold here, we want them to squeeze them out. And I think the moment we get above that high there, they'll probably be squeezed out. So you should see their numbers. Like around this area here, you should see big buy numbers appear. Not gigantic, because there isn't a huge amount of sell volume, but those sellers added. They didn't actually what's the word? They didn't exit. They added. So buyers again need to now come in. We've got more sellers coming in. Looks like the sellers might just take control here. Buyers bought it up a bit. They're holding the line. They're holding this line here, which is good. Good. They're buying a bit more. Again, they need to get above. So now we're just in a little bit of a battle. So we're going a little bit sideways as buyers and sellers keep kind of fighting themselves. But essentially the battle is between these two areas, right? But you see how sellers were willing to short a little lower down, right? They're willing to kind of short a little lower down. You're seeing this number spike up a bit. That's going to be some of the buyers in this area here potentially getting out the market. But buyers haven't completely exited. There's still buy volume. Buyers are still somewhat coming in, but they're not that aggressive. There's a bit more aggression. Go on. Almost. No. Buyers are struggling. They need to add more size if they want to get it up. Sellers are willing to short lower down. So this is, in my opinion, it starts looking a bit more slightly bearish when this happens, right? Because what we're seeing is sellers are willing to short lower down. And you're seeing buyers coming in, but there's an iceberg here. And sellers are willing to add size at the lower half of the range, which is telling me they're more likely going to break through because they want it more. And there we go. It looks like they're about breaking through now. So it's also about who is willing to buy and sell whereabouts in the range. Does that make sense? Buyers were just a little bit hesitant near the highs, whereas sellers were willing to add a bit more volume lower down, you know, and that gives them an advantage to, they just want it more. Do you know what I mean? They just want it more. But buyers still also like this area to buy. But I think sellers might just take over here because they're trading somewhat below it. Unless buyers put in a lot of size, they can squeeze these guys out, which they might do. Their stops are probably going to be around here. But this is a very condensed area right now. Oof. This is becoming very, very tight. So you don't really want to be trading right now because it's a very tight kind of area where a lot of activity, and you can see the battle is happening. Buyers and sellers, they're really fighting it, and it becomes difficult to figure out who's going to win the more you kind of, because the momentum has kind of stopped and now it's just become a sideways battle. So you want to, again, sit back, wait, and look for a bit of momentum to come in. But we're not quite getting that. We just kind of stopped right now. I'll look at the chat while this works itself out. Sammy, can you try range bar in footprint? It's best in my range bar. I've never seen range bar. Where's range bar? Mohammed, tell me what do you mean by range bar? As in, like, it's with time, yeah. Oh, what the hell? What is this? Doesn't seem to work with the footprint, sadly. Put it on 30 range. I'll try 100. Yeah, it doesn't seem to actually show any numbers on if you got footprint and oh no, 1 minute. But it changes it to right, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't have the volume, footprint, and the range bar, unfortunately. It doesn't seem to work. It just switches over to a different chart type to to that, and I've never used that before in my life. So yeah, Sammy is the best streaming trader of all. Free daily market commentary with every blow by blow as it's happening. Quite simple. Is the best, second to none. Thank you, Highlands. Thank you so much. Looking for reversal at 6492. 6492. Nice high up. Oh, I'm assuming you probably set that back down here, over there. I'm probably a bit behind in the chat. Sammy, today you do not use 15-minute levels. Yes, I have not really used any of the levels because there really isn't that anything spectacular right now. Got a tiny gap here, but this has been traded through so many times. I'm not really interested. And the next one's up here, and the next one's down there. There's nothing really in between. So, unfortunately, there's no levels to really trade off. It's unfortunately just one of those days, you know. That 71 buyer, though, wonder if he will defend. I'm assuming you wrote that quite a while ago. $50-minute opening range, breakout high, 64.73 bounce on first touch here. Nice, nice. It's a candlestick that has a constant range of ticks or points. Gotcha. Okay, instead of minute tick range. Right. Okay, I'm with you. Yeah, I've never used. I've never really used it. I know Heikinashi. I've kind of looked at Heikinashi a bit. I've never used any of these. Renko I've never used any of that. It's always been candles and footprint for me. So put it on 30. Oh, I saw that. Callum, good to see you. Hi. What do you use to journal your trades? I'll be honest, Callum, I don't actually journal my trades. I know a lot of people say you should, but truth be told, I don't journal them. I just react in the moment most of the time. And then when I'm up a certain amount, I just stop. Yeah. Range bar does not put into consideration time. I also use range or point and figure. I have Sierra charts though, and I do think better than time-based, but you do okay. Sierra charts is amazing. I give you that. Sierra charts is what I used, most of my life. It is an incredible platform. Like, you can't knock Sierra charts, but my God, is it complicated. Do scalpers journal, really? I don't think scalpers really journal that much. I think that's more of a swing trade / intraday thing, because otherwise, after every trade, I'll be able to write down. It would just be a bit much, Would you be opposed to trying out some journaling software? I don't want to self-promote in your chat, but I've just made some myself that I'd love for you to check out. Absolutely, Callum. You can drop me an email, sam@olaprime.com. Feel free to, I'll drop my email in the chat. Feel free to, I'll gladly take a look. Sierra chart, probably the best trading platform, but I moved to Quant Tower. Interesting. Trevor, why did you move to Quant Tower? It's even difficult to journal when numbers keep flickering on the footprint. I used to get Sierra for free back in the day with Infinity. Ah, nice. Yeah, I used to have, when I worked for the last firm, we used Sierra charts. So obviously I had it free as well. But still to this day, there are things I cannot figure out with Sierra charts. Like, I'd have to go to YouTube and Google it or search it if I wanted to do something, because I never fully learned the platform inside out. Like, I just learned what I needed and I never really looked at anything else. But the one we had was not a custom build, but the template was so different to the standard, out the box version, that if you use the standard out the box version, it's, it almost feels like a different software for me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm so used to the template that my old firm used, using the default Sierra charts, it almost looks foreign to me now. So, yeah. And unfortunately, I don't have that template they used. But I mean, Sierra Charts is if you got the time, like it's second to none. It is an incredible software and so quick as well. So like, as long as you've got a good data feed, like very nice. Yeah. I use AMP to get Quantile for free and pay $17 a month for CME data. So cheap. That's amazing, man. That's really good. I've never tried Quantile though. Never tried it. I've heard good things. Holy Earth says you need a PhD for Sierra. I've used Sierra Charts, but to be honest, the interface looks kind of old. Currently, I'm using Deep Charts, and I will say, if you're into volume profile trading, Orderflow, it's the best. And I mean, I would love to use Deep Charts. I always say this. I want to get round to actually buying it and trying it out. Because you're right, Sierra Charts is old, but it's so customizable. That's what makes Sierra Charts so good, It's just raw. It's almost like it's hard to explain. It's like you can build anything in Sierra Charts. It's kind of like the Minecraft of order flow software. It's incredible. So, so many institutions use Sierra Charts for that reason, because you can really build a great deal with Sierra Charts. But for like a retail trader, I think you're absolutely right. No retail trader really needs Sierra Charts. You can get by with cluster delta, like the simplest of them all. You could get by with it, because it's just about perfecting one kind of element, whether it's the footprint, whether it's the volume profile. As long as you perfect that kind of one element, get good at that, then generally, you can make money in the markets. I mostly just use the depth of market with Denali feed. I don't get fancy. Nice. Yeah, I mean that would work. That would absolutely work. Depth of market is a skill in itself to learn to trade that. I used to always have the depth of market on the screen as well. Nowadays I've got rid of it because I found it kind of affected my trading, because I would see certain levels, spoofing happening, and it would affect my decision making. I'd rather almost not know now. Do you know what I mean? I would rather just see what actually gets executed on a footprint and make my decision based on that now, because the depth of market used to slightly affect my trading in a negative way, a little bit. Ninja Trader's best than Tradingview for order flow and range bars. It's so different. Ninja Trader, yeah, great platform as well. Absolutely. It's also great RAM usage wise. That's the thing. It's so like streamlined, isn't it? It's not that heavy. Like Bookmap is heavy to use. Like when I've tried Bookmap, like my PC sounded like it was about to take off. It sounded like a jet engine. But yeah, Sierra Charts was nice and clean. Sierra Chart changed the industry before them. Best was X Trader, like $1,500 a month. Crazy. That is crazy. I briefly remember X Trader. I think they're still about, to be fair. So 71 did end up defending. Oh, it was down here, 71. Oh yeah, these guys here. They did end up defending. You're absolutely right, Trevor. We're kind of just locked in, up and down. So we're back in a range again. How big is your monitor, Sammy? I don't know. I just bought these off Amazon. It's just a standard, maybe like 20 something inch, 23 maybe. That's how big it is. I don't know if that gives you any kind of idea. It's big enough. It does the job for me. The Bookmap feature on Quantile is great. Just send it and some instructions over 2 emails. Thank you, Callum. I'll check it out after the stream. Thank you. The 522 print previous. 5. Oh yeah, that guy there. Gotcha. Yeah, 100%. That's what she said. For higher risk rewards trades, I think your low volume node strategy is pretty good. Low volume sound pretty. Yeah, absolutely. When you see them, definitely. I mean, I always use the low volume nodes, but we just haven't really had that much lately. Sadly, today's been very footprint heavy today. Very, very footprint heavy. But oh, I've been on here almost 2.5 hours or so this stream. So I think I'll probably wrap it up for today. It's been quite a long session, and it looks like the market has fallen asleep now. So we'll let it sleep. And I'm done trading with my cash account. I'm happy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. But thank you everyone for tuning in as always, and I'll be back again tomorrow 9:30 Eastern for New York Open. So I hope to see you all there, and we'll have a great day again. But thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care all. Thank you.